Hello and welcome to DMEXCO 2015. Now I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. It's all ramping up to a crescendo here on the second day of the event in Cologne, Germany. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Kevin Tan from Eyeota. Thank you very much for joining us.
Great, thank you for having me.
And you're our buddy in Hall 9, so I believe.
Yes,
so thank
just
you.
down the road.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming up the road to visit us. How have you found the event so far?
The event has been fantastic. I've been coming to this event now for 5 or 6 years, and it just keeps getting bigger, keeps getting more exciting, keeps getting more international. And I think the companies exhibiting and also the level of conversations has been tremendous.
How does it differ from other events that you go to? I mean, I've heard that a lot more business gets done here.
Yeah, no, I mean it's tremendous. I think it. You know, I've heard the story that originally started off as actually a conference to do business, but it's tremendously efficient in terms of coming here. You can go to almost any booth, set up a meeting with anyone, and actually real business gets done.
Yeah. If there was any evidence needed of the kind of burgeoning industry that we're in here, you know, they're having to add halls just to kind of fit more people in. So you know, this is an exciting time to be part of the industry. What do you think are the big trends, the big drivers at the moment?
Well, I think there's some fundamental trends going on with digital media right now. I mean, I think digital media is no longer a niche media. It's coming to the forefront as kind of the main show in town. And I think DMEXCO and all these halls and all the exhibitors are a testament to that fact. I think also this event has kind of moved from being, you know, maybe a German or a European event to completely an international event. And that makes a certain level of complexity with the event, because you have to, if you're coming to attend, you have to think about your local German business, your European business, as well as your international business, because everyone is here. Themes that we have seen kind of emerging through this, are really related to that mainstreaming of digital media. So we're starting to see, a lot happening with digital media where it's actually going into traditional media. So seeing a lot of interesting things happening with television, programmatic television, and that kind of moving into the mainstream. We've seen a lot happening in an area that our business is in around audience targeting. So a lot of the solutions you see from the advertisers and the technologies and the publishers are really based around targeting specific audiences, less than targeting context or content as you used to in the past.
And that's been driven by advertisers and what brands want to achieve?
Yes, I think so. I mean, it's partially, it's definitely driven by advertisers and what brands need to achieve. I think it's also being driven in part by the ability of technology to do and handle this. I mean, previously you didn't have the ability to target a specific reader looking at a page of a newspaper from reader to reader, but certainly now you do have that with digital media.
Yeah, this whole thing seems to be moving so fast. This industry is progressing at a rate of knots. Where do you think over the next year or 2 years, as we come back to DMEXCO on an annual basis, we might find ourselves? Do we think that it's an industry that might settle down? A lot of people talk about consolidation. A lot of people talk about clients getting more of a handle on what they need to do to reach their consumers. Where are we headed?
Well, I think there's a lot of growth coming up. I think what we're seeing is actually an inflection point in the industry. So certainly there will be consolidations in certain parts of the industry, but I think by and large other parts of the industry there will be a whole new raft of companies coming. One of the major things that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 months is the rise of things like ad blocking, or consumers looking at different approaches to how they value and how they want to pay for media. Yeah. And that is that's going to be a big point both for consumers as well as for publishers and advertisers to figure out that equation. And that, I think, will have fundamental impact on kind of what the context of this conference will be over the next coming years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what about Eyeota? What have you guys got coming up?
Eyeota, I mean, we're growing with leaps and bounds, just like programmatic and digital advertising is, and audience targeting is. Audience-based targeting for advertising is becoming the currency, or the way that people target advertising, and it's becoming more mature. So we're seeing, rather than initially when people were just targeting against demographics like they do with television, you're able to actually target using a combination of signals. We gave a presentation earlier in the conference on multi-touch attribution, and actually the use of employing audience data within that actually makes a much better and much more effective result for advertisers.
Yeah. So what next for you? Are you based in Germany, or are you based further afield?
So Eyeota is a global company. We have presence across Asia Pacific, Europe, and the Americas. I personally am based out of Singapore, where we have our technology and our development team, but we have 3 offices in Germany, in London, in Tokyo, and down in Australia.
So flying back to Singapore soon?
Yes, I think I'm going to spend the weekend in Germany enjoying a little bit of the Oktoberfest.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, enjoy that, and thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we'll speak soon.
Super. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.